Number 9, we're going to stay in the NFC North here. I'm going to go with the young Chicago Bears. And I know that's weird for people because they're like, wait a minute, the Chicago Bears? Really?
Right.
And I'm like, look, there were so many people that wanted them to go out and get an offensive tackle. And they did. They went out and got Darnell Wright. But there were so many people that wanted them to double dip on offensive tackles because they don't buy into Braxton Jones, because they haven't watched Braxton Jones on film. They don't follow the Chicago Bears. And let me just tell you, the kid out of the 5th round who they got in Braxton Jones, he is a stud. There's a reason why they like him at left tackle. The guy is a stud. They found a, under the radar diamond in the rough, and they're building around that. They want to protect Justin Fields. He is the high priority asset. They let everybody know it when they traded out of the number 1 overall pick, traded down all the way to 9th? I think it was 8th. But either way, they trade down. They relinquish the opportunity to draft Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Levis, if that's your flavor. And that's a huge thing, Cam. Actions speak louder than words. When they traded down, that was them saying, Justin, don't F this up because we believe in you. And so the best way to keep that belief intact and give him the best opportunity to succeed is have the offensive line that they've built for him. Braxton Jones. They go out and sign Nate Davis, who is a stud guard from the Tennessee Titans. Again, the underrated guys in the trenches that other people don't see. Nate Davis was, moving guys out of the way for Derrick Henry. So, he's a big time signing there. Cody Whitehair, who's a long-term guy there. He's been there since 2016. Then you got Tevin Jenkins. This was a very exciting 2nd round pick who is just an absolute mauler. And I think a lot of people wanted them to move on from him. Like, it was just really quick. Like, oh, he's not working out. It's not going to work out at tackle. So they move him in at guard, and now he's just a people mover, right? He's just a really good, he does a really good job of moving someone from point A to point B. And so he's a stud there. And then they get Darnell Wright, who we've talked about. Maybe he was drafted a little higher than I would have expected, but you're getting a plug-and-play right tackle. This offensive line shouldn't shock anybody. It's got young talent. It's got physicality. It's got guys that are just going to set the tone early on in games. Just going to punch defensive linemen right in the mouth and be like, you know what? We're going to run it with Roschon Johnson. We're going to run it with Dante Foreman. We're going to run it with Khalil Herbert. We're also going to run it with Justin Fields. And now, hearing all the stuff that's going on in camp with DJ Moore, or rather OTAs, we're going to throw the damn ball. So the Bears are in a good position here, my friend.
Yeah, no, Ryan Poles, he did his thing, Jake, right? He did his thing. You talked about them going and getting Darnell Wright, a big offensive lineman. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. We speak about the draft. That goes to show who they're doubling down on. And so Justin Fields, like you mentioned, he's that guy. He's really dangerous with his legs, but he can now find more time in the pocket, Jake, with this Bears offensive line. I have him here at number 9 for me, just how stout they are. They got Roschon Johnson, I know, in the backfield as well. And like I said, I watched their last game of the season, Jake. I watched the last game of the season, see how they held up. And they did decent. Some of the notes I have is this offensive line is solid. I know that you didn't go how they wanted to, and I had it here. They are just a solid offensive line. And you'll see as we kind of talk through the rest of these teams, you'll be able to see the gameplay and the difference, right? When you watch the Bears tackles, we see them run to the football, right? When you see a guy run down the field, run to the football, the Bears tackles and offensive linemen, they kind of run to the football a little bit. They kind of give a little bit when it comes to the pass rush. So I would like to see them, become a little bit more stout. And I do think with Darnell Wright, pulling up to this football team, I think they're gonna sharpen their toolkit a little bit. We talk about the Packers, blocking for Hall of Famers. I think they have to treat Justin Fields the same way. Week 18, right? Last game of the season, you might not be in the playoffs, but people are watching that, right? Even us, right? We're even talking about the Bears. People are looking at that. So I like this pickup here, Jake. I love how the Bears double down, on Justin Fields there. And then even going to, we talk about offensive linemen, Jake. I also want to talk about the defensive linemen as well, right? We talk about Javon Dexter, some of the guys that got picked up by the Bears as well. We talk about Pickens as well. And these defensive linemen are only going to make the offensive linemen better. We think about Aaron. We always talk about Aaron Donald, but the Rams offensive linemen have only gotten good because they get whooped in practice every day. So I do think
iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron, Jake, as you just said. So I do think we have to pay attention to these defensive linemen as well, because they're going to be going against them every day in practice. And if the defensive linemen give them a great look, that's only going to serve them better come game day, right? They're going to see all the moves. They're going to see every nuance of the game in practice, so then they can be successful and block, for their quarterback successfully. So like I said, I got the Bears at number 9 for me, Jake. I love what they did with these draft picks, essentially, and how they're rebuilding this football team. Hopefully they can make the playoffs. We'll see.
No, absolutely. And I just want to add, before I get into number 8, Cam, with the run blocking, the PFF grades. I'm not saying the PFF is the Bible, but the Bears were number 5 in run blocking last year. The Packers were number 23, but in pass pro, the young Bears offensive line that added a better pass protector, were 16th last year as a 3-14 team.